All right, so let's go ahead and get started. So we'll take a few moments and have our panelists introduce themselves. And I want to start with Will from EnviroBloq, since we didn't get a chance to meet you on stage. So please introduce yourself personally and tell us a bit about EnviroBloq.
How's it going, everyone? Will McCann, co-founder and CEO of EnviroBloq. Born and raised in Leander, just about 20 minutes north of here. So welcome to my hometown, everyone. But we were building EnviroBloq to help homeowners monitor and maintain their homes, identifying problem areas like mold-conducive environments, roof and plumbing leaks, but also identify areas of waste and inefficiency, like with your HVAC system, attic ventilation, outdoor air infiltration, things like that. So we'll talk more later.
And before you go, Lena, just also, can you share kind of your definition of DePIN or why you consider yourself to be a DePIN project?
Yeah, for sure. So DePIN and with us, it's self-custody is kind of what our mindset. And with us, it's data, self-custody of your data and data ownership. So we want to really harp on this paradigm shift of rewarding users for their data. And that comes twofold. Both, homeowners aren't typically the crypto users, and crypto users aren't typically the homeowners. It's two different diverse markets there.
Unemployed.
Yeah, right. So it's been interesting, just kind of the educational component, both with homeowners on the crypto space, but also preparing this next generation too for their own data and taking control over that.
Hello, everyone. My name is not there, but it's our founder, so you can look up for him. My name is Leonid. I'm a head of ecosystem at Network3. So I just pitched Network3, but who wasn't there? Network3 is a DePIN infrastructure for Edge AI. We are developing the federated learning frameworks so that we're democratizing the AI compute industry to make possible for users to to provide the compute from any device, and for businesses to train their AI models securely, scalably, and cheaply. So, and my view on DePINs, I would say DePINs is probably the first Web3 product which makes sense for Web2 users, in my opinion. When it's because most of Web3 infrastructure was built by engineers for engineers, and DePINs have the physical infrastructure, and when you're explaining what exactly are you doing and where blockchain is used and what problem it solves, they're okay, yeah, it makes sense. So for me, DePINs is probably the first product in Web3 which is not requiring much of explanation on how it works. It just makes sense on the market solution. So.
Hello, everybody, again. My name is Chedraui. I'm CEO and founder at Wayru. Wayru is a decentralized and tokenized internet network that allows anybody to share Wi-Fi with people nearby, and whoever's getting Wi-Fi to connect for free, or by watching ads, or by paying a small fee to get online. So DePIN, to us, it came very natural to us when we found out about what DePIN meant, because we are literally that, right? A decentralized network of physical hardware providing a service to somebody else. And we truly believe, as you just mentioned before, that this is one of the use cases of blockchain that makes more sense. And we are confident that this will make Web3 mainstream in the next decade. Thanks.
Hi, hello everyone. My name is Ting. I'm founder of PowerPod. Actually, 2 years ago when we started PowerPod, there's no even the buzzword of DePIN, DRAM, any called that C. So we have a strong background. We are #1 provider for Tesla slow charger. After shipping 2 million slow charger for Tesla globally, we want to build one thing. We want to organize all the public private charger to our network. So we use blockchain to actually unify them. So at that time, we built IoTeX at the first beginning. At that time, IoTeX attracted me because IoTeX provide a very good solution, MachineFi. So we want to help people to monetize their home charger. So I think actually PowerPod is born to be decentralized, right? Because we are location-based business model. We're quite like 7-Eleven, McDonald's, or Starbucks. So right now, actually, DePIN is the hot topic in the room. But I believe, use PowerPod way we can help people to acceleration the electrification of car. So right now, we have 30 million electric car, but we have 2 billion compensation car. So there is a huge gap. We should give people enough reason to change their car to electric car. So charge anxiety is the main obstacle. So PowerPod actually, we find the real problem. We try to solve it in a DePIN fashion. Thank you.
Thank you, Ting. And we have Nguyen from Inferix joining us. So we're just sharing a little bit about ourselves, our project, and then also share why you consider yourself a DePIN project, and briefly, what is your definition of DePIN or how you position yourself within the DePIN narrative.
What definition of what, sorry? DePIN.
Just tell us about Inferix.
Okay. So our journey started in 2018 when our CEO, Freddy, established a company, a Web2 company, House 3D, for the user to design the house and render it and then buy the furnitures. So we at that time used the centralized GPU cloud, which is very expensive. And our Web3 journey started middle last year, when we think that we can crowdsource GPU based on blockchain technology. And we use token to reward, that's one part, but also use blockchain to verify the contribution. Then when we launched project, we didn't know that it's DePIN. Yeah. And then on Twitter and socializing with several DePIN, and we found IoTeX. At the time, I met Andrew, and I saw, wow, this IoTeX already have a mature kind of infra for the DePIN project to build. And I'll explore the technology of IoTeX, and we talk with technical team, with Giuseppe and the team of IoTeX, and we saw that, okay, in terms of the SDK and the middleware layer already there, and IoTeX is easy for us to deploy. And we start, okay, we're gonna go, yeah. That's how the story started.
Thank you. Thanks for your answers. So DePIN, in some ways, has a higher barrier to entry due to the fact that users have to purchase a physical device in some cases, in most cases. Can you share what strategies you're using to lower that barrier, to attract the broader Web3 community that maybe aren't interested in purchasing a physical device, a proprietary device? So let me start with Charvel from Wayru.
Yeah, so we have our own proprietary device because about half of our community prefers plug-and-play solutions when it comes to joining a DePIN project. But the route we are taking is the firmware route as well, because the other half of our community, they prefer to get their own device, which whenever they want, they can just flash back to the original firmware. So our devices run on our firmware, the Wayru OS, and thousands of hotspots will start to run on Wayru OS as well in the near future, because we use OpenWRT as a base for our devices. Today we have a very closed list of compatibilities. We have over 10 devices available, but the idea is to open this up even more, so people can not just get a compatible device and flash it, but they can get our firmware and build their own device. So we believe this brings the barrier of joining a DePIN project all the way down. And in our specific case, since our approach is to share connectivity, we also allow users to test out our platform of sharing and earning by sharing known Wi-Fi passwords with known Wi-Fi networks with passwords within our mobile app. This encrypts the password and allows anybody else that has the application to go and connect and try out. This will reward the sharer a lot less, but this allows them to try out and be a participant of a DePIN or Web3 project without having to invest not even 1 cent. Just download the app.
Awesome. Thank you. And we'll jump back to Will and work our way down.
Yeah, so the barrier entry is definitely a big one. For us, like I said a minute ago, we're kind of selling to two different markets. We're selling to people that want to mine tokens and kind of earn a passive income like that, but also to homeowners, you know, and to monitor their home. And anybody that's ever tried to go to sell their home and found out they have mold in their house, it's the last thing you want to hear whenever you're trying to close a deal. So it's very expensive to remediate mold, very expensive to even test for mold. So like one area or use case for us is monitoring to prevent mold in the first place, you know, so the price of a $200 device is very justified compared to remediating mold in that case, but also to the other market, our ROI is, you know, about 12 to 14 months, depending on token price, you know, so it's very much in line with other DePIN projects as far as earning a passive income and turning it into an income after you pay off your device. So, and then to Wayru's point, you know, as much plug and play as possible, especially to the homeowners that aren't crypto based. You want them to jump through as few hoops as possible to be able to get on the network. So we try to minimize the hurdles to onboard. And you know, shout out to IoTeX with MachineFi portal and WebStream and everything. You know, y'all have done an awesome job of taking the technical burden off of startups like us. You know, to be able to do just that is remove a lot of these hurdles that people need to jump through to onboard in the first place. So,
Thank you. Network3?
Yeah, our main point of like devices is any device is kind of workable. The one you have in your pocket, the one you have in your backpack, you can immediately connect it and go use Network3. So as for now, our main strategy is to focus on like how the data is being like, it's coming from point A to point B and how it all encrypts. So that's why we just focused on like adapting towards the existing devices, and we're not planning to develop any of them. I love the calculation of ROI, that like in any scenario you're like facing with the issue. For us, you have immediate ROI just because you have an existing device. So that's why it's kind of like Network3 kind of like advantage, is that like you can just set it up and go and start making money out of any device you have.
Awesome. Ting?
I want to prefer the question is why we have to lower the threshold to buy a device. I think actually there's a paradox to one way you want to provide real value for the users. The another way is you want to help people make money as fast as possible. Actually, this is the opposite way. Like in PowerPod case, we use an adapter. You just see Matt hold a small adapter. So there's different charge status. So we have to be a bridge, like non-Tesla car can charge a Tesla charger. So this is a real use case. Before PowerPod, there's a lot of the everyday on Amazon, there's over 500,000 shipment. So we build an adapter to help people to build connection. I think actually the ultimate question is how people can make money. It's related to your token. What we sell, we not sell hardware. Hardware is a tool. We sell token, right? We use token helping people make money. So the question is, where's the value came to your token? So I think actually hardware have to combine with a token. To combine them together is a powerful tool to help people make money. So just like Bitcoin. Bitcoin mining machine right now is, I think actually the Bitcoin miner over 20,000 US dollar. It's very expensive, but people want to buy it. PowerPod, our hardware is only 200 US dollar. People don't want to buy it. Why? Because we are not TGE. So we have to TGE as soon as possible. We use TGE, combined hardware, first thing, hardware real use case. They use token, they can make money. So I believe actually you have to find the product and market solution. So it is very hard to define where is the real market, right? So find the real market, use a product to fit it. Then use the token to incent people buy it because it can help you make money. So it's not related about the price. So the price is a fake idea. So that's our answer. Because in PowerPod case, the most expensive thing is the real estate. People had to find a parking space, not hardware. So that's only what we can do right now for this stage.
Thanks, Ting. And you anticipated my next question, so we'll come back to that. Go ahead, Nguyen.
We have few projects in DePIN that we are done selling hardware right now because the node running is your own GPU. So if you have computer, you have PC, you have laptop, you have GPU, and you can run the nodes. What we're selling is selling the node slot, actually selling node. We have over 20,000 professional designers. They all have a good GPU for rendering. But if they render on your own PC, it's still slower than they are render on Inferix. We are crowdsource more powerful PC, powerful GPU. So we connect the unused GPU. So the node runner don't have to buy software. If they have a PC, they can become the node. What they buying by slot, by the node slot of the token. And we airdrop the token based on the slot. And I think the barrier for joining our network is not too high. Yeah.
Thank you. And so as Ting kind of foreshadowed, right, so every founder on the stage here is preparing for a token issuance before the end of the year. So this begs the question, how are you thinking about your tokenomics design to tie the value of the token to the utility of the resource that you're building a network around, which is, in my opinion, the killer use case of DePIN is actually driving real-world value into a token economy that can then be distributed and decentralized to a large holder base. So let's start back with Will. Share any insights you have.
Yeah, so right now we reward in the IoTeX token for anyone providing data, but we will be launching the EnviroBloq token here at the end of the summer or Q3. And obviously, to help scale the network, we're rewarding you for your data. But to go beyond that, you can earn dynamically based on how much you want to provide to us. You know, we would love to start collecting utility bills to tie to your house too, if you want to share that much and go that far with it. Some people don't, that's fine. You can just earn the base token, right? But eventually the token could then be used for platform incentives, you know, more data analytics from our side, and then eventually to be able to do licensing for third-party devices like Aware Elements and some of these other devices that were on Planet Watch and stuff before. And then eventually be able to market that data on a large scale and, you know, broker that data using our token. So all that kind of feeding into that ecosystem as we scale.
Yeah, great question. Great, actually, response. In Network3 aspect is the token is representing the liquidity for the users who are providing their compute and liquidity for businesses who are trying to buy this compute. So, and in our like view, it's like we can operate without the token, and like sure, but the idea is that token is actually like the representation of like of what we have behind us, and we're also like kind of like backed by real results of like how much data we're like computing, how much data we're like able to like provide for compute, and how much data we're like encrypting, and how many businesses we have. So, and second aspect of our token launch, we're planning to launch in August, is to ensure that actually the airdrop is going to people, to the community who is actually seeing the value of Network3. So right now we have like pretty strict regulations on like how people are getting the airdrops and what exactly is like, and what is like the allocation. We want to like see the community who is building with us along and not just trying to get the airdrop. That's why that's kind of like the value we are putting behind the token is liquidity, community, and the scalability. So
thank you.
Yeah, so our token is going to go live Q3 this year. And it's in our specific case, it's kind of hard to have this perfect world where the user buys the token to access our service because most of our users are non-crypto users. They're in low-income communities. They, most of the time, don't have internet access. So to ask them to go buy a token in an exchange is crazy, right? So thus, buyback and burn, buyback and lock, and all these other methods that are out there that we are also using. But the main goal or the end goal at Wayru is for our token to be the only way for you to access the network in the future, decentralizing this even more, right? So today people can just buy quota in the network, and then with that money we buy back tokens, or we will buy tokens and lock them up or burn them. But the perfect case or the perfect scenario will be probably 10, 20 years down the road where everybody is into crypto and it's easier for them to go buy a token and then give utility to that token. So yeah, in our case, the utility is going to come from the network usage, from the network validation, and yeah, participating on the network. As you mentioned, we are also having airdrops being put together for people when our token comes out, but not anybody will be able to get this airdrop. They have to be active participants of the network. They have to be early operators of the network. They have to be early validators of the network so they can access these tokens at TGE without paying.
Ting?
So to be honest, at the first beginning, the most question asked for me is why PowerPod need a token? Because our business model seems worked in Web 2 area, right? But Jeff Bezos have a very famous sentence: "Your opportunity, your take rate, my opportunity." Our Web 2 counterparty, they take 20 to 30% of the charge service fee. You know, PowerPod network, we only take to 2 to 3%. So we have to use a token, right? So its token right now is a bidirectional sword. If you don't use it right, it can kill you. So one thing I want to share today is in our tokenomic design, we separate it to two tokens, and we separate the utility token from governance token. Because in PowerPod case, we have to follow, in most countries, have followed the regulation, like data protection, GDPR, and also there's a high volume of electricity came through our adapter. So we have to follow all these kind of electrician regulation. But the most important thing we have to do a peer-to-peer transaction system, just like Bitcoin. We do not touch the fiat money flow, which means when people charge in your charger, they pay directly to you. Then how PowerPod make money? We use PD. PPD is a governance token. You have to stake governance token, just like step N. This is gamification between PT and PPD. PT is utility token, and PPD is governance token. So when every charger session finished, we will burn a little amount of token. Then the whole network will get a value attracted from the real use case. So I think actually this is the most important thing is people will realize the token is ownership, right? The governance token, they have to do contribution to the whole network. So I think actually the two token layers, absolutely three token, because we support USDC, USDT, stablecoin payments between actually peer-to-peer transaction system. So this is very important. I think actually we will avoid the most country regulation, right? Thank you.
Thanks, Ting. Nguyen?
Yeah, token is very important to us. Thanks to token, we can crowdsource GPU. That's why we have to design token to make it valuable. I often say that DePIN is, you use the Web3 and blockchain technology to crowdsource GPU to lower the cost for the Web2 users. But in Inferix, our Web2 users might also the GPU provider, which also can I need to own the token to become our provider. So the value of our token is depend on the value of our project, whether we can contribute the value to the users who render on our network or use AI on inference. So I'm kind of I really like the notion the token is owner. So who in the community who owns our token, who become a member of community, like they own a part of a project. They contribute GPU provider, but they also render on our network. And we use 80% of the revenue from the Web 2. The client have to pay when they render on our network, and we cut 80% to buy back the token and burn it to make sure that they are always contribute to the value of the token. That's how we design it.
Thanks. So, go ahead.
And we're planning to launch token in Q3. Hope that at that time it's really in the DePIN summer.
So yeah, that's a good point. We have the faces of DePIN Summer on stage here today. So take them in. And the final question, we only have a couple minutes left, so we'll keep this short. So every project you see on the stage here today is launching a native asset on the IoTeX chain. And the choice of an ecosystem is a difficult choice in a multi-chain world, in a very competitive ecosystem world. So just take maybe 30 seconds or a minute to describe your relationship with IoTeX and then how that fits into your broader kind of ecosystem model.
Yeah, I might be unique because IoTeX is really the only ecosystem I'm familiar with in crypto. It was an engineering background and got into crypto at the end of 21, and with a touch feel mindset and engineering kind of mindset, the Helium and the IoTeX were the two projects that stuck out to me the most. Something you could touch and feel. You could buy a Pebble tracker, you could buy a UCam, So for us, it kind of happened very organically. We bought the Pebble. We didn't know what it did. Didn't even know what crypto or blockchain was. But we knew it was cool. It was collecting data. And then y'all had announced that y'all were doing a Halo grant a couple years ago. So you're like, hey, we have this cheap, fast blockchain. We have this proof of concept Pebble device. Y'all go pitch your idea to us for a way to incorporate it. And then with our background in roofing and homeownership and attic ventilation, just kind of awareness, that was kind of a light bulb moment of no one's collecting data from attics. But in roofing, HVAC, homeownership, it's a very important space. And then from there, we kind of just went to the whole house monitoring. But IoTeX was obviously a no-brainer with the Halo grant and everything there. But y'all, like I said a minute ago, are really trying to take the tech burden off of startups like us. So everything from the device to use. We're a validator for the blockchain. I highly recommend any project, if you can, be a validator for your parent blockchain. One of the best moves we ever made. But all these things kind of go into this incredible ecosystem that y'all have built with the wallet, with MachineFi Portal, with WebStream. I don't even think people are aware that all those things are IoTeX. A lot of times. So the tech stack that y'all have built have really made it just so easy for us to build, but also for users to onboard, and that's very important.
Thanks, Will.
Yeah, for me, I have very interesting view towards IoTeX. I see it as like IoTeX is kind of like our college, and we're all like projects here are like classmates, and everyone is like different major, but everyone is like under the same university, and we're all growing by getting certain resources and help from IoTeX, and in the future we're like going to give it back to IoTeX. So I would say without like IoTeX ecosystem, Network3 wouldn't be Network3. I want to say huge thanks to DePIN scan that we can see all of the nodes, how geographically they're distributed. It's a huge marketing flow. We're also launching now you can see every node address. So with DePIN scan, so I would say IoTeX is like, I respect it, and it's the platform for other companies to succeed, and that's how Web3 business should be done.
Thanks.
Well, for us, it was very simple. We were looking for a blockchain that had a tech stack that was ready for DePIN projects, like right now. And no other blockchain actually has that availability, or if they have some availability, there's no much focus on these DePIN projects. With IoTeX, it was different. All the focus is on DePIN projects, and the tech team on IoTeX is super open to try and build things that are needed for the different projects coming into the protocol, which you would probably never see in other protocols, at least from my experience. As I said before, we are a multi-chain project, but the reason we are launching on IoTeX first is because of the ease of use of the tech stack for our devs. And yeah, that's the main reason why we chose IoTeX. Then it came with so many goodies, right? It came with this amazing group of people working together under this accelerator. It came with a great community that is supporting and growing in our channels every day. So yeah, it was a no-brainer for us.
Thank you. Ting?
Actually, to be honest, I chose IoTeX because IoTeX made enough mistakes in the past 7 years, right? This is one thing. Another thing, actually, IoTeX is focused on IoT. So just like Oracle is a $100 billion business, but at the first beginning, Oracle focused on a database. So I know there's a lot of competitors with IoTeX. They want to provide a universal DePIN level 1, but they don't have a 7-year experience. This is one thing. Another thing, they have to get enough knowledge about IoT, right? The hardware, protocol, software, servers, the terminal users. Because for the first time in DePIN area, we create the terminal users, just like Helium Mobile, right? Before, there's lots of narratives, lots of we are selling stories. There we are selling tokens. But right now, I think actually most of the DePIN projects is product lead market driven. So 2 years ago when I chose IoTeX, it's a very simple. I saw a tipping point. We can build a real product. So after DeFi summer, after AIT, there's a lot of stacks. There's a lot of stacks that are going to mature. So right now, PowerPod focuses 2 things. One is terminal user experience. Another one is hardware. So we left everything to you guys. So IoTeX hold everything. It's an aggregator not only for the tech staff, but all the community, all this kind of thing. I think this is a good thing, not only for DePIN Surf 1 and 2, but for all the DePIN sector. Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Ting. Nguyen, take us home.
I think IoTeX is the first and currently the only one like L1 that's focused specifically for DePIN that already also have a token and community is release token, mainnet, right? And to support the DePIN, we have to work with the hardware, and IoTeX already have tech stack. But more importantly, I did check the research about IoTeX before, like they have a machine fry before, and now it's DePIN, and they have DePIN scan with cross other chain. So many people think that okay, deploy on IoTeX is only like have to be exclusive only with IoTeX. No, that's wrong. IoTeX even support go with multi-chain with liquidities because they have liquidity hub, DePIN liquidity hub, right? So I think the kind of ecosystem along with the accelerator DePIN serve is supported a lot.
Awesome. Let's have a hand for our panelists. The faces of DePIN Summer right here.
Thanks,
Thank
guys.
you,
Thanks,
everyone.
Dean.
Thank
Meet
you.
them now before they all become huge celebrities.